Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to talk about how viable the Grav is going to be in competitive, whether it's league play or in the CWL, and we'll go ahead and break down why I think it could be the next best thing in competitive as long as it doesn't get GA'd out of the competition. And I'm sure some of you guys don't know exactly what GA'd means, but basically the pro players communicate back and forth and say, hey, we're not going to use certain items, we're just going to agree not to use them. Even though they are available in the game, they just decide, hey, let's make the game a little bit more balanced and let's remove them from the game. So if they think the Gfuel is a little bit overpowered, they're going to go ahead and GA that so they don't have to worry about it. Along with that, I'm going to be giving best class setup for all the rifles that are currently used in competitive and the best competitive class setup that I think they're going to be using for the Gfuel/Grav if they end up using it within competitive. So if you find the video helpful or enjoyed it in any way, please remember to hit that like button. Let's see if we can get this video over 1,000 likes. And if you're someone looking to improve or want to find your way back to the channel, please make sure you hit that red subscribe button, turning it to gray with notifications on by ringing that bell. So one thing to point out really quickly about the Grav is that actually none of the attachments are banned from the CWL playlist. So that means all the attachments are usable within league play. Then once those rules are seen by the pros, they go ahead and make those gentleman agreements so they can go ahead and modify the rule set even further. And like most rules, it only works if there's consequences in place for people not following the rules. And pretty much how they enforce these gentleman agreements is they basically are going to go ahead and blacklist a specific team that decides they do not want to follow the rules. And if you get blacklisted, that means you cannot scrim between tournaments. If you can't scrim, that means you cannot practice against high caliber opponents. So more often than not, if you show up at the tournament, you're just going to get smoked. So pretty much all that stuff happens behind the scenes, and they kind of figure out what's going to be banned and what will be allowed from the basic rule set that you see when you play league play. So at the time of making this video, it wasn't even 100% confirmed that the Grav is a part of the brand new CWL rule set, but based off why it was even inputted in the game, I think it's definitely going to be a part of that CWL rule set. In case you guys didn't know, Tony Flame went ahead and tweeted out, the Grav is now available. Congrats to the community for completing the challenge together, obviously for PlayStation 4. We designed the Grav with competitive in mind, so check it out in league play. He also said its role in the new meta competes with the KN and ICR. We'll be evaluating its performance to ensure proper balance. So right there, it's pretty explicit about league play, but they don't really say much about CWL, even though those kind of things go hand in hand. But obviously, in an attempt to try and get as much information for this video as possible, I went to a few different pro player streams and started asking if they knew if the Grav was going to be GA'd or if it was available as part of the competitive rule set. And I was able to get a quick soundbite from Enable, who is a pro player for 100 Thieves. Pretty much all the pro players pretty much said the same thing.
No, it's all good. I gotta see
JGOD, I have no clue.
Wait, is the cannon?
Which is pretty unfortunate for the pro scene, but when it comes to league play, it's 100% available in the game. It's not going to be gentleman agreement, and as you saw with Tony Flame's tweet, it was 100% designed to compete with the KN and the ICR. When you actually start looking at stat profile, it is the perfect balance of the KN and the ICR. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the best class setups attachments wise for the Maddox, the ICR, and the KN. So when you look at the top, you can see I pulled these class setups directly from the pros, and then I went ahead and made them so they're a little bit easier to read. For the Maddox, we have the ELO, Quick Draw 1, Quick Draw 2 with stock. For the ICR, we actually have two different class setups, even though that top one is the primary one they tend to use. And that's Reflex Sight, Grip 1, Grip 2, and then it's either that FMJ or Quick Draw. Then for the KN, there's pretty much one class up they'll run if you see it, and that's going to be ELO Sight, Grip, Quick Draw, and stock. And when it comes to the Grav, I didn't see a single pro using it just yet. So one of the things that kind of slips under the radar is because most of the rifles in this game have pretty reasonable range that they don't even need long barrel. But when it comes to the Grav, it is one of the best attachments it can possibly have. And the main reason for that is because the Grav has a 4-shot kill range up to about 20 meters. So if you're going to go ahead and double that range, you're going to get a 4-shot kill range up to about 40 meters, which is very significant, especially in this game. And for the most part, I think this is going to kind of slip under the radar because in public matches, you have things like rapid fire and high caliber to close that distance and reduce the time to kill. But obviously with those types of attachments being banned in league play, the playing field is a little bit more level. I know this is going to look a little confusing at first, and I want to go ahead and kind of guide you through how this works. When you equip the long barrel attachment on the Grav, which is this green dotted line at the bottom, you're going to see how the time to kill compares. Pretty much how the Grav works is the line is closer to the bottom, it kills faster because it has a faster time to kill. Vice versa, as you go to the top, it has a longer time to kill, so it means it's slower in the time to kill department. So right here, we can see that the green dotted line, which is the Grav, is all the way at the bottom with a 327 millisecond time to kill. When you equip that long barrel attachment, you can see it's going to go ahead and increase its range from about 17.5 meters all the way up to about 37.5 meters, which is an incredible increase. And that's where you get this big problem with the balance of the Grav in league play. You can see it right here. You can see that the Maddox competes up to about 20 meters, and then it starts to drop off because its damage range drops from its 5-shot to 6-shot range, and it's going to go ahead and go from about 300 milliseconds up to 400, which is about 100 milliseconds slower than the Grav. With the ICR, it has a 400 millisecond time to kill, all the way up until about 50 meters, which is pretty far, so you always get consistent time to kill. But between that and the Grav, which is a clear advantage, from 20 meters up to 35 meters, the Grav is going to dominate everything. Point blank range, since the KN and the Grav had the exact same rate of fire, and the KN is not able to equip rapid fire, you can't make up for that difference. And the drop off range for the KN happens way faster. Most of the gunfights, almost all the gunfights in this game, will happen within the 40 meter range. Obviously, long shots will happen at the other range, but you can see there is a clear advantage between 20 meters up to 35 meters. Just in time to kill. So if you can hit your shots, which pro players can do, you're going to see that the Grav starts to outshine all of these other weapons. Just a heads up in case you guys didn't know, I am sponsored by Gfuel. Kind of like an energy drink substitute. Has far less calories, a little bit more affordable, only about 90 cents a serving, and there's two different options typically that I'm going to go with. There's one with caffeine, which is obviously going to replace the energy drink. Then there's one with hydration that is specifically geared towards kind of replacing that Gatorade, which also has a good amount of sugar. So just like some of those energy drinks, it's going to go ahead and give you a little bit of energy, alertness, focus, but without all those sugars. So that's the main difference of why I would recommend going with G Fuel over just the typical energy drink. The discount is going on until the end of June. Code JGOD for 30% off at checkout. So overall, I see a huge reason why this could be a part of the meta going forward. And obviously, when Tony Flame said they wanted to make it part of the meta, this shows you exactly what they did. They went ahead and combined the KN and the ICR. You get that range of the ICR with the long barrel, but you get the time to kill of the KN up close. When you blend those together, you get a super weapon. And there are a few downsides with the Grav, which we'll go ahead and talk about. But for the most part, it becomes a very powerful weapon, especially if you can be accurate. So in my eyes, I think the Grav actually has two flaws. Even though it has all these strengths, I think it has two considerable flaws. The first flaw is its aim down sight time. It is one of the slowest, if not the slowest in the rifle category at 330 milliseconds. And on top of that, it also has a very slow reload time of almost 2 seconds. And basically what I'm getting from those two different numbers is that you should be playing a little bit slower with this weapon the same way you would the ICR. So based off all that information, I think there's 3 possible class setups that you're going to see either in league play or among the pros. And this is going to go ahead and keep in line with the other pro class setups that use 1 optic and 3 attachments. So pretty much this is how the class setups are going to look. They're going to have a reflex sight, grip, quick draw, long barrel. The second one's going to have grip, stock, long barrel. And the third one will actually drop long barrel so you can have that mobility with quick draw, stock, and grip. And the main reason I opted to not include the perks is because some scenarios require different perks over others. Obviously, if someone's about to pull out a war machine, you're going to want to make sure you have flak jacket out in different scenarios along those lines. And obviously, if you're going to use this in pose, you might go with the 4 attachment setup. So that'd be grip, quick draw, stock, and long barrel. And that's because you can get away with not running as many perks in public matches. So here's the part you guys could really help me out. Go ahead and leave a comment down below letting me know whether or not you think this will be a part of the meta in league play. Do you think it's overpowered in pubs? And do you think that there will be a gentleman agreement banning this weapon? Obviously, it's a little too soon to tell, but it's pretty much anyone's guess at this point. Just a heads up, I've been getting a lot of requests to do subscriber gameplay breakdowns either in the comment sections or people DMing me on Twitter. Here is the post you are looking for. I went ahead and made a new one on June 22nd at 11 p.m. And this is the one I'm going to be pulling subscriber gameplay reviews from. If you want to go ahead and get your gameplay reviewed, this is the easiest way possible for me so I can keep them organized. I make one of these posts and all you got to do is go ahead and click on my profile down in the description below. Scroll down, look at my tweets, and you're going to find this tweet. And you're pretty much going to leave a YouTube link and I'm going to go ahead and make a video out of that. And after I've went ahead and reviewed all those, I'm going to go ahead and choose the ones that I think will be the most helpful to the people watching the video. Go ahead and make sure you click on that link down in the description and follow me. And that's how you'll be able to get that gameplay reviewed. If you liked the video or found it helpful in any way, please remember to hit that like button. Let's see if we can get this video over 1,000 likes. And if you're brand new to the channel and you'd like to find your way back because you're looking to improve, make sure you do subscribe, turning that red subscribe button to gray with notifications on by ringing that bell. Do appreciate all the support. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.